What is good, my people, my peeps? How are you guys doing this afternoon? I thought I'd stop in real quick to just have a lunchtime talk with you. Haven't I haven't talked to you. I haven't tapped in with you guys in a minute. I'm like, what's going on? Let me get in here and talk to my people, my peeps, because there's a lot going on in this world. And so while I have this quick break, we're gonna have a talk, and then I'll come back and we'll get into some deeper conversations. But I hope all is going well with you guys. It's Thursday. The end of the week is almost here. Tomorrow's Friday for most. Is the end of their week. So hang in there. Hang in there. If you working in 9 to 5, hang in there. So, goodness. Oh, hold on for a minute. Hold on for a minute. Hold on for a minute. There's so much going on. Um, I wanted to talk about. Let me get comfortable real quick. Like I said, I ain't gonna burn your ear off. Um, gosh, with this Austin and Taekwon, I can't pronounce his name. I ain't even gonna jack it up. Oh my goodness, y'all, with the young boys that got into a little altercation. It started with a little altercation. Let me say that, and it turned into much more. Where Kwame Kwame stabbed the stabbed Austin, and Austin lost his life. And I've been kind of quiet on the whole situation. I've been kind of quiet on it, but I wanted to tap in and talk to you guys about that. But I want to wait to see what's going to happen with that. But you can't wait and then try to get the information so you could be on the right side, right? No, I want to hear what you have to say. What is your thoughts about what's going on with this stabbing situation, jabbing situation that took a young man's life, Austin's life? I've heard some commentary on both sides of the owl, if you will, what people think, and some people, are saying it's a racial thing. Some people are saying that it's not a racial thing. It's just two kids that got into an altercation. Um, from what I heard so far, and see, my thoughts and opinions that I'm going to say, Kit, is not totally without um, some influence, right? Because you know what, that is the main reason why a lot of cases don't like to give out too much information, especially when they have to pick juries and things like that, because when that information goes out, it sways the public's opinion, right? So with the I hope I'm saying his name right. If I'm not saying his name right, y'all go ahead and correct me. But I'm going to do a full my own breakdown of my thoughts of Kwame and Austin. And so, like I said, some of my thoughts have been influenced by what I've heard thus far. Um, But one thing I do know is I would not have jumped smooth out the gate um, with just saying that it was a racial thing. Not smooth out the gate, not knowing, you know what I'm saying? Not just looking at it, because we don't want to be on the wrong side of history when it always comes to the racial um, information that comes into the news, right? But the thing is, any stories that come into the news, what they need to stop doing. This is my full-fledged opinion, not swayed at all. But what they need to stop doing is stop putting pictures up of black folks. I don't care if it's a woman or a man. They need to stop putting the negative picture up, or the mean mug picture, okay? The picture that got the boy or the woman face twisted up or looking just dry, and putting a little angel the heavenly, the perfect picture of our white brothers and sisters. I'm gonna say that wholeheartedly. That's from the heart, okay? Because what you need to do is put both heavenly looking pictures up, both innocent looking pictures up when they posting content or when news comes out about a situation. That's my thoughts on that matter, without being swayed, just from being in this world so long. When you put up a photo of a black boy looking mean and rough and tough against a white boy looking like he's on the doggone Boy Scout team or some shit like that, then yeah, we got a problem, because then you're trying to get the public to get straight into thinking it's a racial thing when they do that. And that's a fact, Jack. Okay, that's a fact, Jack, because when I saw, the picture straight away, I was like, okay, let me see what people are gonna say. Okay, and then I heard what people gonna had to say, and some people went right into the race thing. That's the only thing I can say from the gate, wholeheartedly, truthfully, is they the American media incites that. Okay, they incite the race card. They are the ones. The American media, and I'm not even going to say the influencers, because they don't get the information until after the cops release the story, right? They don't get no information until after the cops release the story, whatever story it is, especially when it comes to dealing with something, killing, a murder, whatever it may be, something negative regarding a black person onto a white person. The media gets that after the cops release it, and they put those pictures out there. That's why I say it's propaganda. And propaganda in America has always been to criminalize the black man or the black woman. So that right there, based on photos alone, yes, the media, they stir the pot first and foremost, and I've said that time and time again. And then when you go, if it ain't from the newspaper or online Google searches, um, the first image you're gonna see is that type of image, right? And so anyway, I've been hearing about this case where the young boy got stabbed. Austin. Oh, hold on, y'all. What's good, Martin? What's good? Um, I've been hearing about the case where the young boy got stabbed. Austin. We back, y'all. We back. The man, it's hot out here on this lunch break. Okay, the phone went out. Okay, he said it's too hot. So anyway, we back in the building. I was talking about the case that's really got America in a battle is with Kwame. I believe that's how you pronounce his name, and Austin, and how you know I was saying, and you can go back after this live is over and rewind it. But I was saying from the gate, because if you try to come or wait until all the information is out, you basically are your thoughts are influenced, and some of my thoughts have been influenced about by this case simply by listening to what other content creators have to say, media has to say. But I was saying this for a fact that is not influenced and cannot be influenced. The thought that I was expressing before the phone went out is that the media, American media, has always used propaganda against our melanated people known as black folk, whether it be men or women, and they use it via pictures. Okay, hold on for a minute. They use it via pictures. So I wanted to say that right off the rip. That's my opinion, and can't nobody change my opinion. You know what I'm saying? They use that. Hello, hello, guys. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hey, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, I need to start getting some more content out here. I realized I was like, oh my gosh, I hadn't pushed no content in a minute. Um, so yeah, I got to get some more content out here for you guys. Uh, but yeah, my opinion is that I don't care what you say, that right there, it instigates the fact that people are going to think, oh, it's about race. It's about race. Why would you think that right off the rip? Why, you may ask? Well, let me break it down for you. It's the pictures that are produced. It's always going to show, what's up, God? It's always going to show the black person all, they face all twisted up, looking mad and mean, right? The mean mug. And it's all, and they always show the white person looking like the angel, looking so innocent. Okay? And if they didn't want it to be based on race, or make it a race issue, or to stir up about a race war, whatever they're trying to do, because they're blowing this case up, right? And because they ain't had black folks act a fool yet. Nothing, none of the things Donald Trump has done has us acting a fool. They want you out in the streets cutting a doggone fool so they can enact martial law. Side note, okay, they ain't got y'all out there acting a fool. Y'all ain't went out and marched on April the 5th. Y'all good? Yeah, we didn't. We wasn't going marching because as soon as y'all went out there marching, they would have had them popos out there on that ASS. Okay. Okay, and then you would have heard martial law. Now they talking about martial law coming down regardless on April 20th. But that's a whole different conversation. Let me get back to why I say the only thing and the only reason you can say it's been about race, no matter what the father says, he don't want it to be about race. He should have said, well, put my son's picture up of him and his twin boys holding these assault rifles. Mm-hmm, holding their assault rifles next to Kwame's mugshot. Quiet. I don't hear nobody saying nothing. His father ain't say that if he didn't want it to be about race. Huh? How they get the pictures? Hmm? They went and they saw, if the father ain't give him that wholesome picture, or the family ain't give them that wholesome picture, the media went and found the most wholesome little picture of Austin and put it beside Kwame. And if I'm saying his name wrong or pronouncing it wrong, please feel free to put it in the chat so that I can pronounce it right. This is a conversation off the rip. This is a lunchtime conversation. But baby, you know I'm going to go in. I'm gonna go in. I ain't gonna be over here let me keep it clean. It's lunchtime. I ain't gonna be over here tiptoeing through the tulips about a conversation that's real in these doggone streets. How they push the propaganda for it always to be about the thuggish, ruggish black man. And whether it be a teenage boy, when Kwame was at let me tell you some information that has influenced me, okay? Because there was some lies out there, and witnesses is starting to come forth. And they said that Kwame, had a knife, made him out to be a thug. Let me tell you something. If you live in Texas, don't walk up on nobody talking crazy. Because you don't know what we might got. We might got the pew pew, or we might got the 1-2. And I ain't talking about the fisticuffs. You might get something that you ain't, okay? You wasn't ready for. They got little boys in Texas carry pocket knife. You don't even know what kind of knife that was he had. Because we talk about Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, brownies. We know how to tie a knot and slice a cut in a tree so we won't get lost if we's in the forest. You feel me? Okay? It's a knife. A black person can't carry a knife because then that makes them automatically a thug, right? So that tripped me out too. Like, okay, I carry a gun or I carry a pew pew, I'm automatically a thug, huh? I'm because of what? The color of my skin? Oh, but Austin and his brother, the twins, they have pictures with assault rifles. Now, let me tell you something. Hunting in Texas, anywhere in the world, matter of fact, unless you trying to take down an elephant or a lion, you don't need no damn assault rifles. Okay? Now, I ain't against no pew pews or none of that. But it ain't no need for you to be hunting so-called hunting with assault rifles. Okay? There's special kind of rifles. It don't take all that to go take out a dog on Bambi in the doggone woods. Okay? Now these brothers had pictures of assault rifles. Austin and the twin, I don't know his brother's name, so I'll call them the twins, okay? But the one who lost his life was Austin. The information coming out is the picture y'all got painted, which is coming from the hate and stuff that you're hearing, is coming from the pictures that the media put out first and foremost. But the pictures, they should be opposite. The reason why I brought up the assault rifle photo that the twins have, because they didn't post that alongside of Kwame's picture. Looked like it was a mugshot picture when Kwame was a honor roll student at a track and field event. And let me tell you something. I know about sports. My father and mother had my brother and I in sports in some kind of activities all our life. Okay? My brother was all-star track and field, went to state. Okay? If you don't know about state, that's outside. That's competing against everybody in the state. You got to be number one stunner to compete in a state track and field. Okay, and so they didn't promote both of them looking both kids that are involved in this. They didn't put his Austin's angel picture right beside Kwame's angel picture because he got a few of them. They ain't put them beside Kwame's family, mama, daddy, brothers and sisters. No, they want you to think this boy came from a broken home, probably. That's the first thing you're going to think when you see this mugshot of this little boy against this angel picture of the young man who lost his life, who reportedly now is coming out. These two brothers was they was bullies, known bullies in the area. Okay, and they just recently had a witness come out and say that it was he okay, because people are like, why he under the wrong tent? He shouldn't have been under the wrong tent at the track meet. It First of all, it's not like, I don't know if y'all been to track and field events. It's not like football, where one team sits on one side of the field and the other team sits on the other side of the field, and we rarely go over to mingle what we did when we was young. But the football teams didn't go sit on the other people's benches like that. Track and field, everybody is mingling and around the track. So some things have come out that this wasn't on school property like people are saying it was, and then this happened like at a city uh area, okay, not on school property, although there was some activities. The track and field was related to the school activities. Some people's like, well, why he have a knife on school property? It wasn't even on school property. And then you have to understand where you at. We in Texas, baby. Okay. Some people, you have to, it ain't big on about carrying no knives. I think city slickers think something's big about having a knife on you. Not for us folks in Texas. Uh, uh, we do a little things a little differently. Okay. So that for a lot of people, that was them being judgmental, because like this black youngster shouldn't have a knife. But I guarantee you go pat down half of the schools in Texas, half of the white boys in Texas got a pocket knife on them. Guarantee. I put money on it. I'd probably be a millionaire, probably more than a million, a billionaire, if you wanted to make that bet right now. Right now. Go to any school in Texas, baby. Get all the white boys. Tell them to come outside. Don't tell them what it's for, and tell them to empty out their pockets. Matter of fact, don't even do it at a school event, because this didn't even happen at a school event. This happened outside on state property, but yet and still it was a school activity. So if it wasn't in that school, I guarantee you a lot of white boys gonna have pocket knives on them. I know it for a fact. I'd be rich if I could make that bet with somebody. Okay. What made this uh whole situation racial was the media always putting up the worst picture of the black person involved, and then putting up the holiest of holy of the white person involved. That is what made it a racial. That's what stirred the pot to make it racial. Okay. Because now we're finding out the twins was the bullies of the area. Mm. And then you got Kwame. He there for a track event, and then he under a tent that he could be under. But let me tell you, that's what came out too. People like, well, why he under that tent? It was raining. Okay, it was raining that day, so he under a tent, getting out the rain, minding his own business. These are key facts. Minding his own business out of the rain, and these twins that probably done ran the show gonna come over there. And this is the thing, we have to put things in perspective. Okay, these twins came over and told him to move from up under the tent. Not after the rain. From eyewitnesses, they said it was still raining when the twins told him to leave from underneath the tent. Okay. Now, the problem what I'm seeing is privilege has made these, and privilege is associated with whiteness. Okay. Because they weren't hired to be there to be part of any staffing. They weren't security. They did not have the authority to tell anyone to move. And this is at a track meet. And if you ever been in school functions, you know about track meets. People mingle, they move around. They didn't have any of those authorities to tell anyone to move. All they had and they were working with was their privilege, which is associated with their whiteness. Ooh, I know. I gotta go, y'all. This is a quick lunchtime talk. I'm gonna finish it up. definitely got to get into this conversation. All right. I want y'all to have a great rest of your day, and I'm out, and much love.